Hello, everyone, and welcome to another live watch along show on Football Tour Podcast. My name is Ozzie, and I'm your host for this evening. The match between Liverpool and PSV has literally just started. So, what we'll do as the game begins, we will go through the lineup, see who has been selected today. Um, just by looking at the lineup, now there's a couple of surprises. So, in terms of the goalkeeper, Mamardashvili actually gets to start in this one. So, Allison has been rested for the upcoming fixture against West Ham. Backline, you've got Kirkes, Van Dijk, Konate, and it appears that Szoboszlai is playing at right back, which is very annoying, but not hugely surprising from my point of view, based on what Stoke has been doing in recent weeks. In the midfield, you've got McAllister, Gravenberch, and Jones. You've got Salah on the right hand side, Gakpo on the left, and Hugo Ekitike leads the line for the Reds. Now, in terms of our opponents in PSV, they pretty much kept the same team as they did in the last game, and I've just heard commentators say that they've literally fielded the same team in the last 6 games. So I guess I got one prediction right in terms of my match preview. So Kova and goal, and you've got Salah Adin, Gasiorowski, Charlton, Dest, Saibari, Junior, Veerman, Perisic, Till, and Man leading the attack there on the right hand side. So yeah, so this is the lineup. And in terms of the bench for Liverpool, more so than not, you've got Gomez, Endo, Isak, Chiesa, Robertson, Woodman, Trainion in Rio, and Misquil as well. So yeah, slightly surprised by one or two slashes. Of course, the predicted lineup that I came up with alongside Double D, so shout out to Double D. It was more so what we wanted to see. But I'm not surprised at Salah. I'm not surprised that McAllister is starting. I would have liked it to have been Joe Gomez because Ramsey wasn't able to play due to not being registered. Um, but yeah, at the minute it looks like Jones is playing right back. I might be wrong. I thought that last time, and then they kept on interchanging. So let's see how the game goes. So we're all focused on the game, um, and yeah, hopefully we get a result. I've predicted a draw. I'm not, you know, overly confident about the team's form and the way we've played in recent weeks. So I'm still on the fence in terms of us expecting to get anything from the game, but things can change um, very quickly in football, as we all know. So this is the scoreboard. So currently 0-0. Just gonna go through some of the comments here from Ozan. Big up Ozan as always. Says, "Yo, Ozzy, this better be a W. They have bloody Salah Dean marking Salah, man. this needs to be a win. It does. Two Salahs on the pitch. So yeah, let's see how it goes for us. The positive is that I'm seeing Buzz like very advanced. So it looks like he's playing in midfield and Jones is playing at right back, which is what I wanted to see last week in the fixture against Nottingham Forest. So I guess there's a slight improvement on that part. And look, this Moroccan fella Saibari, he's the one to watch for me today. Last season they beat us, and he came off the bench and was a live wire. And since then he's been in great form for PSV. So he's a player to look out for today. Excuse me. In terms of score predictions as well, I've gone for a 1-1 draw. I'm expecting Ekatike to score. Um, my footage is just stopped for some reason. Let me quickly get my channel back on. Not sure what's happened. Probably my internet connection. There we go. What's going on? Oh, it's a handball for PSV. Oh, flipping out. What's going on? I was gonna say no way. I missed the incident. To be fair, my footage just stopped for a split second. So it looks like they've been given a chance from the spot kick. Perisic takes it. He shoots and he scores. Clinical finish from the Croatian there. Surprise, surprise. We're trailing in the opening 10 minutes. Surprise, surprise. Yes, I know it's a penalty, but a goal is a goal, isn't it? It's the facts. Now I need to see the replay because I missed the incident. Clinical finish there from Perisic. Let's see how the players respond because this is my issue with the players. Whenever we concede, our heads drop down. Now we've got to show a reaction today. I was then saying Virgil van Dijk playing basketball. Still haven't seen the replay, but if that's the case, that's bloody annoying. Might as well talk about transfers because these lot have no spines. Yeah, we might have to just talk about transfers, isn't it? Yeah, we might as well. Oh, come on, Canate. Oh, that's Philly. Ah, his distributions. People are like, "Oh, it's not that bad. He's decent at least." He's not decent. He's a poor distributor of the ball. He really is. So awkward in terms of his technique. Comment here from Ozan. He said, "Was not renewing Richo a big mistake on FSG's part of the real talk?" For me, I would say so. I know a lot will not agree with that, but I feel like last season Diaz found, you know, his form. I feel like he was entering his prime years, if you want to phrase it that way. Like he was playing his best football in club football, in my opinion, and it felt really silly and bizarre that we were getting rid of a player who's had a good season. You know, of course there were moments in the season where he had a dry patch where he wasn't getting onto the score sheet at all, and then he had a purple patch. You know, but end of the day, even during those moments of matches where he's not scoring goals, he's still for me working hard for the team, still contributing as a team player. Um, and that's something I never questioned with Diaz. He always worked hard, put in that application, put in that effort, and I feel like that's something that can rub off around you as well. So if you got one player fighting for the cause like that, I feel like a lot of the players around him would have got influenced by that, and then it would have been a great way for the front line to step up, and then the rest of the team would have followed suit in terms of being aggressive and playing high up top. But I think it was a mistake, and I feel like they went for the data analysis as to why they didn't want to give him a new contract. Good play by Szoboszlai, gets fouled in the end, free kick to the Reds. Um, but I understand both parts in terms of Liverpool not offering a new contract to a player that's 28, 29, and that's not really old. Let's be honest. And he's not really showing any ounces of slowing down. Clearly, if you watching for Bayern Munich, and from his point of view, he wasn't earning the money that he's there. So if the club's stance was no, that we don't want to give you a new contract or we don't want to improve your terms, then from his point of view, I understood why he left, if that makes sense. But from a footballing point of view only, I think it's a mistake personally. But yeah, we'll have to live with that because right now he's playing Ballon d'Or form. And yes, he's in a bit of a slower league, but in comparison to the Bundesliga, but he's doing it in the Champions League as well. And he was showing that kind of level in the Premier League last season, more so than his previous years at the club. So, but look, if Liverpool had found a replacement, well, then we may not be feeling it as such. But because we never replaced him, I feel like there's a void in that squad. So that's why we're feeling a little bit more, in my opinion. So yeah, to answer to that question, I think I would say yes, personally. Double D, big up Double D says, what did we say yesterday? Yeah, I'm not surprised by the team selection is. That's why I didn't want to present this lineup because I knew this was going to be the lineup, but I wanted to see Chiesa. I wanted to see Ekatike and Isak in the same team. I wanted to see Joe Gomez get some minutes. And I don't know, that one I understand if he's not fully fit, it is what it is. But if he's on the bench, he's able to play minutes. That's how I see it in a simplistic way. So Palace are trying to fed the ball, but aimlessly there to Ekatike. As I said, could they have made a better attempt to improve his salary? I think so. I don't know what was the final amount or what was the offer on the table. Uh, you know, it was quite strange because there was conflicting reports. Many believed that he was earning around 50K, but some were saying it was, in the region of 120 or something like that kind of figure. So I don't know what the range was. I don't think it was 120 personally, because he's earning, I think, probably 150, 160 right now at Bayern. Um, so I don't think he would have left for like, I don't know, 30 grand a week. Don't get me wrong, but I think Liverpool would have if he was earning 150, for example. I think they would extend it to like a 160, 170, 180, that kind of range. But I don't think they were willing to do from 50 to 150, if that makes sense. So I think that was their issue there. So they for from a financial point of view, he doesn't have on paper a huge number of years ahead of him. So therefore, let's cash in on him, and find a younger player or give real chance. Maybe that was their thinking, even though the coach has not utilized him at all, in my opinion, or hasn't utilized him correctly, I should say. So look, I do think we miss him, but I think we miss him more so because we didn't replace him. But if you look at from a business point of view, we got a good amount of money for him. He's earning a great salary at Bayern Munich. He's playing football with a smile on his face. So there you go. The only player that looked like who was going to score today, and that was Szoboszlai. That's what we needed. So yeah, it depends on what Luis Diaz was on. To be fair, if he was on a bumper contract like a 150 or something like that, then I think we could have made a bit more effort to improve. But if it was 50 and he wanted 150, I can see why the club did it. But look, I feel like once we find that replacement, we'll probably forget about Diaz in that regards. It's just that we're doing terrible right now. We have no width, no one that can take on a fullback. So that's what happens. OD saying boom, finally got the goal there. Subasa always shows up in every game. Yeah, he does, and that's how it should be for everyone as well. I'm not just taking away that special quality because you've got to have a very strong mentality to be you know this driven, and also you gotta have the physique and the sort of the right training, the right health to be playing at this sort of magnitude. But he does it week in week out. He really works hard for the team. If it wasn't for suppose, like honestly, guys, we'd be in a relegation zone. I'm not even exaggerating. It would literally be that bad. So yeah, good to see him on the score sheet. Good to see him playing in midfield rather than right back. Thank God. Also, I've learned his lesson. I say thank God, but then he might play right back in the next game. So let's not kill ourselves. It could definitely go the other way. But in terms of what we're seeing presently, he's playing in the right position for me. So we've got the goal now. Hopefully that can spur the crowd on. The crowd will have something to cheer about. That will spur the team as well to really go for it now. Hit that next gear now and really go at PSV and try and build some confidence within each other. Oh, that's a fantastic cross. Oh my God. I need to see a replay of that. That was poor defending from the goalkeeper from my first point of view. The delivery was fantastic. I can't lie. Yeah, he's just offside. That was Konate and Ekitike just leaving their man there. That was a great cross there. Ozan saying, "What is Van Dijk doing? Man, is working against us tonight." In that moment, I don't think it was Van Dijk's fault. I would have said it was Ekitike and Konate because they were the closest ones to him, to the goal scorer. Jones to Szoboszlai, lovely pass. Szoboszlai to Salah. Half-hearted pass there. He didn't know if he was giving it to Jones or Szoboszlai. And look at that, Szoboszlai fighting back to get the ball in return. Ekitike, good turn there. Great. Driving the ball, can he shoot? Oh, he's fouled. That must be a penalty. Referee. He was going away from goal, I agree. But that was a foul in the box. Is it in review? They got a review at least. Come on. It was a clumsy challenge. You didn't get nothing on the ball. It's a foul. It's clumsy. No. Obviously, must have been. He's done that. It wasn't. It's just that's what the referee sees it as. It's not obviously the decision, is it? He knew what he was doing. It wasn't just oh, we bumped into each other. He clashed into him. Good interception there from McAllister. Heavy touch from Szoboszlai, but he still has the ball. Jones to Salah. Salah cuts in. Salah shoot. Oh, wayward. No, no, he had the right to shoot there. I'm not having it with Gakpo complaining, got his hands in the air. No, no, Salah had the right to shoot there. Created the space for himself in his kind of prime range there. Had to shoot. Just a terrible technique, to be fair. Good tackle by Jones to Salah. Salah to Gakpo. Shoot Gakpo! Shoot Gakpo! Why didn't you shoot? His decision making so off sometimes. There's nothing more Kirkis could have done there. Should have shot. You create so much space for yourself. Curl it around the post there. I was saying, damn, Salah sent that ball all the way back to Chelsea, Fiorentina, Roma, Basel, and Al Mukawloon. I don't even know that. That was his Egyptian club there. Yeah, big up himself for mentioning that as well. Corner kick. Hold on, there's a injury. Yeah, Gus Gills is bleeding quite heavy. Not sure if it's from his mouth or his nose, but yeah. Oh, his own player. PSV looking like that PSG today, isn't it, with the away kit? Same colours. Arsenal leading against Bayern Munich right now. Timber on the goals. Well, Timber the goal scorer right now. McAllister to Kirkes. He's very, very infield right now. Gakpo. Nice touch from Gravenberch. Unlucky from Ekitike with the back heel. Good interception there from Szoboszlai. Szoboszlai's everywhere so far. Jones to Salah. Salah up against Salah. Are the best of crosses there. But Liverpool still have the ball through Jones. Can Salah get on hold of it? He can. Oh, he can't shoot though. Van Dijk. Liverpool moving the ball around a lot better today. Nate. Passes. So was like decent pass there. So was like, oh, good effort there to try and fed the ball to Salah, but the defender Saladin read it very well there. There goes to Gakpo. Gakpo to Ekitike. Lovely flick there. Gakpo. Oh, Gakpo, what are you doing? Make up your mind. You shooting, you passing. Good interception there from Gravenberch. McAllister running the ball. Through to Gakpo. Gakpo the low cross to Salah. Saladin makes a crucial block there as well. That was a fantastic ball there from Gakpo. Salah thought that was an easy tap in. But Saladin does really well to make that block. So Bosley, McAllister. Poor pass there from McAllister. Terrible pass. Yeah, good block there from Saladin. That looked like a foul throw there. McAllister. Ah, lucky McAllister there. That was a clean tackle from Saibari. Jones to Salah. I take it to Jones, Jones to Salah. Not the best of passes there from Jones to Salah. Van Berg, lovely touch from Ektiga. Ektiga, shoot, 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 shoot. Oh, he shot early there. Well, good turn of pace there from the Frenchman. Come on there from Ozzie. So Ozzie thoughts on the sub Curtis interchanging, alternating, inverting positions from CM to right back. Not a fan of it, to be fair. Um, I feel like right now, because of our lack of form, try and keep things simple. Don't need to do this interchanging so much, especially between defense and midfield. Oh, Van Dijk just hit the crossbar. But having Jones at right back, for me, this is what I wanted against Forest because you've got a player that can, you know, pass the ball, have a different outlet from a different position, especially from defense. And defensively, he can still do a job. It's not, of course, he's not a natural defender, but he can still do a job. Szoboszlai to Kerkez. Kerkez with the cross. Szoboszlai to Van Dijk. But I'm not seeing them to interchange as much today. Against Forest, they were interchanging a lot more in the first half, from what I remember. Today, you're seeing Szoboszlai literally be a bit more advanced in the more central position, um, leading the press more so than not. So yeah, this is where I want to see Szoboszlai further up the pitch rather than coming up anywhere near the defense line, in my opinion. So they're definitely more up for it today, as they've got something to cheer about, I guess, isn't it? Salah with a corner kick. Van Dijk, not the best of headers there. Should have headed it on goal rather than a cross goal, in my opinion. Oh, look, is it a penalty shot? I don't see it, to be fair. That was unlucky early on where he hit the crossbar. And it Carl scores for Bayern Munich, very highly rated youngster for the German side. Groundwork turns, oof, tries to pass to Ekitike. Ekitike shoot. Oh, good effort, Ekitike. Szoboszlai. to McAllister. Turkish good cross. Ozzie in the comments saying, bro, when that chill out, don't need him getting a second yellow. Yeah. I think he realized that as he was like trying to get the ball. Gotta be careful. Saladin passing back to Kabor, PSV goalkeeper. Saibari driving the ball to Dest. Corner kick. It is. Oh, good block there from ground back because that could have gone anywhere there. Ekitike running after the ball on the left hand side. Oh, he kept it in. Well done. Gakpo throwing to the Reds. Jerkes out controlling his run there. That's another throw into the Reds. Van Dijk. Nice through ball there from ground back to McAllister to Jones. Van Dijk to Cody Gakpo. Well done, Gakpo. Come on, Gakpo. Gotta do better than that. Got a comment here from Abdul Rahim. Says, hi, I was in chat. Assalamu alaikum. How are you? Welcome salam to you, Abdul. I'm doing good. I hope you're well as well. Blessing and greeting. Praise to Allah. Mazallah. LFC 1, PSV 1. Van Dijk was walking a tightrope with that yellow card. and was all over the place. You know, Watchalong, thanks. Yeah, I agree. It's got to be a bit more smart with his reactions, not to overreact. Almost got another yellow there, and you know these European referees, they don't mess around. They're impatient. It comes across sometimes, and they're trigger happy when it comes to giving out yellow cards. So just gotta be careful. No foul there on Sabozza. I thought that was a free kick. To be fair, PSV on the counter right now for Saibari. Ah, McAllister quickly. Oh, does really want to get past two players, but then he gives the ball away to Veerman. Veerman to Saibari. I think Saibari was offside there. Yes, he was. Jones long ball up top towards Salah. Salah tries to get past Saladin. Szoboszlai does really well to reclaim the ball. Jones to Katike. Katike to Jones. Heavy touch from Jones. Come on, guys. Go win those battles there. Got to be first at the ball. Hey, come on, guys. Let's not get complacent now. Dest on the right hand side. Yeah, okay, it's all over the place at the minute. Good block there from Jones. Dalton. PSV trying to string some passes along, but Liverpool intercept. Foul there on Ekatike. Free kick to the Reds. Almost approaching half time. Hopefully Liverpool can try and get the leading goal before the whistle. Salah to McAllister. Groundwork. Ah, good idea trying to dink it over towards Gakpo, but too much lift on that ball. So was like, does really well to give it to Ekatike. Go on, Ekatike. He shoots. Ah, some will say you should have passed it to Salah there, but look, I don't mind that. When you're a striker, you know, when you have that tunnel vision to go at goal, just go for it. For me, just the first touch was a bit heavy, and in the end, wasn't able to get any power in that shot. Gakpo on that left hand side. You could tell I was a striker because I always give the striker the benefit of doubt in those situations there. 1 minute of stoppage time. Comment here from Abdul. He says Liverpool upcoming fixtures: West Ham, Sunderland, Leeds, Inter, Brighton, and Spurs. Does Arnold lost the slot? Want to get the sack? Confused by this head coach this season. Let's see what he can muster up in those upcoming fixtures. I don't really have too much faith. Look, even if we get the win today, I don't think that's the turnaround, if that makes sense. He's got a lot to prove to still be at the job, in my opinion. Let's have a look. It's a free kick and it's a handball. The ref didn't give us anything, so a little bit annoying. Different rules for different teams, isn't it? That's how it comes across. But that is halftime. Liverpool 1, PSV 1. Liverpool trailing after giving a penalty away in the opening 5 minutes. Perisic scores the goal for PSV. And Liverpool respond in the right manner, which we haven't done this season, to be fair. And suppose that's scoring from close range. So Liverpool playing much better football today, stringing the ball quicker and faster. People playing with a bit more energy today, which has not been the case in recent weeks. So a good step in the right direction. So what we'll do now, we'll take a short break. And once we return, we can watch the second half and go through the game together. So until then, grab yourself a snack or drink, and I'll see you guys very, very shortly. Hello, guys. Welcome back to the second half of Liverpool versus PSV. All the players on the pitch, so the game should begin very, very shortly. No changes from what I gather. I haven't seen anything online. Hmm. Based on the players on the pitch, I think it's the same players that started the game. Let's go comment here from Ozan. I say can't concede early in the second half. I agree. Let's not do what we did against Nottingham Forest, basically. So yeah, hopefully we don't do that. So was lie to Jones. On the ball. Suppose lie. Salah, what can he do? A poor pass. Suppose lie. Fantastic slide tackle there. He's been immense so far today. Suppose lie with a shot. Straight at the keeper. Pretty much everyone is in the attacking half right now. Nate to Salah as well to cut inside. Hmm. Was like to Jones. Jones unable to bring the ball down. So using this pace, decent delivery. Sabari unable to keep his header down, but there was a slight warning there for the Reds that we can all push up past the halfway line, but we got to trap back because they are able to hear us on the counter. Hey, Jones, poor mistake there. Why are you passing the ball with that technique inside your own half? Ozan, the comment says, Yo, Ozzie, would you agree that Ekitike has a better football IQ than Isak? Even Ekitike is isolated or doesn't get much service, he's still resourceful and has imagination to get off shots or make incisive passes. Yeah, I would say so. Even when we were both looking at the two strikers during the summer, I feel like stylistically they have similarities in terms of their approach from an attacking point of view, but Ekitike has more all-round ability, so he's able to link up play with the midfield, drop deep in those type of positions. Um, he's more tactically aware of his positioning. Um, and he's still quite raw. As in, he's which is the beauty of what he's done so far this season because there is room for him to grow and become even more lethal in years to come. But yes, I would say he does. He is the more is a more all rounder in comparison to Isak. But what Isak excels in, Ekatike is not quite there yet, in my opinion. So in terms of finishing and attacking the channels, I think Isak is a level above. So um, I guess it's a good headache to have. You have those two type of strikers at your disposal, but at the same time, you've got to try and fit them in somehow as well. So yeah, I would say so. Um, but they of course do, share different skill sets. Even though I do feel like they're quite similar, but I feel like Ekatike has more all round ability, more of a ball playing striker, if that makes sense. So yeah, Alistair tried to thread it to Ekatike, not really on there. Now we've hit that 50-minute mark. Mm. I know we're not winning right now, but I'd like Slot to make some substitutions at some point. I'd like to see the likes of Chiesa, Isak, Endo, because I don't feel Endo's been active, so I'll give him some game time as well. Robertson, I would say throw Joe Gomez in there, but if he's not fit, he's not fit. So let's not, play just for the sake of playing him. Um, but those are the four that I would definitely like to see. And if we're winning, bring on Rio. Don't bring him where we need to go. Let him play a bit more, freedom a bit more, sort of less pressure. Also, the comment said, "Raw, Perisic is 37 years old and still running around like a 19-year-old." Yeah, his engine is insane. It really is. And also, he's two-footed as well. I always thought he was just left-footed all the time, but the penalty he took today was right-footed. So yeah, ambidextrous, I guess, in terms of being able to play with both feet. Really talented player. Oh, Jones. Hmm. Someone got pardoned. PSV on the ball. Throw to Veerman. Veerman just about finds Sabari, but Konate nicks it off him. McAllister has the ball. So to Szoboszlai on that left hand side. Lovely pass back to Kerkez, but Kerkez forced to ground. Kerkez not just finding his range today. Seems a bit lightweight, getting pushed around quite a bit, or he's just running around too much and not really, you know, in control of with what he's doing. So just got to take one little step back. You know, don't need to go all guns blazing every moment of the game. Think with a bit more calmness and intelligence. But having said that, he's got us a corner kick. So let's see if Liverpool can capitalize from this. Gakpo said to take it. towards Van Dijk, heads it down. McAllister getting bullied there. Unable to take a shot and go. Sabari to Saladin. But yeah, they've just lost momentum. They've had to pass it back. And Liverpool have regained their shape once again. Wow. Tottenham are beating PSG 2-1 right now. And former PSG player in Colomwani has just scored the goal for Spurs to take the lead. Good pass there from Saladin. That's a good goal. That's still good finish there. What was Kirkes doing? That ball. Perfect ball. Onside. Just easy finish there. Saladin. Yeah, great ball from Saladin. And I still do need to control it, just needed to apply a deft touch, and he did exactly that. And Maldash really couldn't react, unfortunately. 2-1 to the Dutch side. Jones, take a shot. Too long. You should take a shot with your right foot there rather than put it on your left. Corner kick, quickly taken by Salah. Lie to Granberg. He shoots. Shots for handball. I don't think it was, to be fair. PSV on the counter. Oh, thankfully, Knate makes that block. I thought that was going to go through and go. Chief Sabari should have done better with that through ball from a PSV point of view. Salah. Oh, mm. I would bring on Isak and put Ekitike on the left hand side because I don't feel like Gakpo's been effective today. Try and get both strikers onto the pitch together. Got a couple comments here from Ozan. So Ozzie, how do you think players like LeBron, CR7, Novak Djokovic, 40 years old but still performing at elite level of their sports? Is it purely genetic, or do you think they're on some sort of special stuff? No, I don't think they're on some special stuff. Um, cool. Sorry, Perisic just had a shot. I thought it was going to go in. If he connected it with that on his laces, that would have smashed the top bins, honestly. But in terms of your question, I think it comes down to professionalism. So all of these sportsmen that you've mentioned, hold on. So Bosline's on the ball. Kaiser to Gakpo. No, that was not a good pass from Gakpo. Uh, yeah, sorry, back to your question. So in terms of these sportsmen, they are very much dedicated to the sport, and they have been dedicated from with this sport for a long, long time. So in terms of Djokovic, I don't know like their story as such. Of course, I know what they've achieved in the game, but in terms of CR7, he's always been someone that is the first one in that training and the last one to leave. So for him, it's literally within him to work hard and be the first one in and last one out. I know Kobe Bryant, he's mentioned it in interviews in the past, before he passed away. Um, that was his mentality as well. That he would, be up at 4 in the morning, way before everyone else, and then he would practice, he would train. So he's already, a step ahead of everyone else. And that's the approach you gotta have, I think, at the highest level of the game. Same with Salah. Salah's, renowned to be someone that's very much health conscious, in terms of his dietary, in terms of looking after himself. That's why, he doesn't, deteriorate in terms of, how a normal player of his age would at this stage of their careers. And genetics definitely plays a part as well, but I think it's based on, you know, their diet and in terms of, their dedication to the sport, to the craft, because they make a lot of sacrifices, that it's not sacrifices as they become professional. The sacrifices come from, when they're young, young boys, you know, having the dream to become a professional sportsman, and then it stems from that. So yeah, it's all hard graft. Nothing's given to anyone. Doesn't matter how talented you are. Um, so I feel like it's more so, them looking after themselves. The players you mentioned, like I know Salah, of course, he's Muslim, but he doesn't drink. Uh, I think Cristiano Ronaldo is the same. He doesn't, indulge in that sort of stuff as well. So they keep themselves in good shape, and that's how they maintain the levels as they get older. So yeah, I would say that is the reason. To be fair, looks like PS. We have a free kick. Perisic and Verman more than capable of troubling Mamadashvili from this range. Kind of still lying on the ground. He's been on the ground more than any other player on the pitch today. He blocked it. The will did his job by making that block. Isaka's on the pitch now. Has Isak replaced Ekitike? It's a little bit disappointing, can't lie. Poor pass there from Isak. Szoboszlai to Jones. Gonzalo first time to Szoboszlai. Took too long. One of the best of passes from Szoboszlai. Herkes. Herkes, don't block his path. Just move out the way. Herkes the cross. Szoboszlai shoot. Good save there from the keeper. Lovely cross from Szoboszlai. Oh, poor header. I remember he did that a few weeks ago as well in that similar kind of range and headed it over the bar, just like he did right now. Oh, come on, you gotta be burying that. That is unacceptable. That is unacceptable. That is a point blank range there. Isak to McAllister with the shot. Decent effort there from the Argentine midfielder. Ozem, whose comment says, I agree, bro. And that's why I think Mo Salah can play pro football at least until 42 or so. Maybe not Prem level at age 42 for Salah, but still perhaps Saudi or MLS. I agree. I think he can as well. That's what I've always said regarding Salah. There is no urgency for him to make that move to Saudi. I feel like that offer will always be there on the table. Even if he was 40, 42, he'll still be fit enough to, in my opinion, tear it up in the Bundesliga, or if he was to go MLS. I think the Saudi Pro League would appeal to him more. Um, with him being Muslim and the culture and everything like that. I feel like he would gravitate to that a bit more than moving over to the US. Salah on the ball. Nice pass from Salah. Oh, bloody hell, Gakpo. Gakpo doesn't know how to head, does he? For such a big guy, he's actually quite useless with his heading. Let's have a look. Is it a penalty? It looked like he touched his hand too fair, but no, they've dismissed it. Corner kick for Liverpool. Canate with the header. Blocked by Saladin there. Gakpo. Come on, Gakpo. Oh, take him off now. Take him off. He's not passing properly. He's overhitting crosses. He's heading the ball over the bar. He's useless. Let's take him off now. He's been frustrating to watch today. Put Chiesa on, man. I don't know what your beef is with Chiesa, but put him on. Just till it's being taken off. Who's he being replaced by? A lovely finish there from Gustil. Considering he's not even actually the striker, he's been made as a makeshift striker this season. But I feel like he's found his position right now. Perisic has also been taken off for Pepe and Driouch. Pepe is the main striker. I think he's been injured this season. That's why Gus still has been playing as a makeshift, but he's done fantastically well so far this season. Gakpo, Salah, to Szoboszlai. Szoboszlai, oh, for trying to go for the top bins there. Come on, Van Dijk. Van Dijk. How are you letting him get past you like that? Come on. And that's got to be a bit more aggressive in his tackles. To be fair, I know he's on a yellow, so he's got to be careful, I guess. But should have got a clean tackle, in my opinion. Like a TK on the ball. Salah. Going back. Does really well to hit it back across goal. What's happened there? And like, well, make some more substitutions. Bring on Chiesa. But trying to find Isak there. Buster was light as well. The corner kick. And now the header. No, I could see that, unfortunately. Still got about 20 minutes to play. Hmm. So Bowery. Oh, he's the post. This is an absolute joke. Absolute joke. We are shocking defensively. We really are. Look at this clown there. Give Joe Gomez 5 injections if you've got to do that. He needs to start ahead of Konate now. Konate is absolutely useless. Look at this clown. What the hell was that? What the hell was that? This is diabolical. But Now you're bringing on Chiesa. Good interception there from Kerkez. He shoots. Oh, unlucky from Kerkez. I was unlucky too, but it just missed the post. Is he smirking again? Nah, why is he smirking? I know he's a happy, jolly type of character, but come on, there's a time and place. You don't smirk as you lose or as you get off the pitch as you're losing as well. Like, this is the second time in 2 games he's done that. PSV on the counter attack again. Comments here from Ozan. He says, sack this manager in the tunnel immediately after the game, Ozzie. We are getting relegated the way things are going. Honestly, I don't even know what to say anymore. I really don't. I feel like it's so blatantly obvious that this coach is just not at the level to manage Liverpool Football Club. Like, he's been found out. And PSV aren't exactly playing long ball. They're not playing the low block as such. They're just being very much well structured as a set, as a collective, and they've got a game plan. They've been hitting us on the counter. Nothing wrong with that. And you can't blame the teams that beat us as well. Like, oh, they're playing negative football. Like, that's not that's not their problem. You got to come up with a plan to counter those type of teams as well. So for me, if he doesn't know or he doesn't have a solution for that, he's not at the highest. He's not at the highest level. He's not a high caliber coach. Simple as that. This is not his level. So therefore, Liverpool have to make a decision very soon now. Because I thought maybe we'd get a point out of this game. Maybe. I didn't feel like we were going to win. I thought maybe we'd get a point. The one this weekend, I'm more concerned about that game. I really am. There's a foul in the box. Could have been a penalty, but when things don't go your way, it doesn't go your way. Salah with the corner kick. Jesus. Shoots. Oh, unlucky. Why Chiesa doesn't start games is beyond me, honestly. He always plays at this level. He's always there to give Liverpool something else, whether it's from his pressing or his ball playing ability. Like he's different quality to the players we have on the team. He's just never given a chance to play. Saibari, oh my god, on the counter. Ah, that's a poor pass. Poor pass from the Moroccan. But still in play somehow. Ugh. Yo, there's a player right next to you, and you're throwing it like that. Flipping out. Come on, be alert. Jones to Salah. Apple drives in, shoots, and gets blocked. He said a shot. Ozzie in the comments says, how can Salah doing pocket Mo Salah? Ozzie, this is embarrassing. I'll be honest with you. I've been saying it for quite some time. I don't want to sound like I'm like that person saying I told you so. I'm not trying to illiterate that, but basically what I'm trying to say is Salah should be playing a central role. You know, a winger is a young man's game. Simple as that. You know, you mentioned him, prolong his career at the age of 40. Like, can he do it? Yes, he can, but not as a right winger. He's got to play more central. Whether that's him playing as a number 10 or a striker, you got to let him play in that role because that is, his strengths, being a goal scorer. You know, he can score all types of goals. I feel like the way we play, we require our wide men to be, intense with their pressing and, taking on the fullback. But, you know, I've been saying Salah should be playing central for actually since Armstrong was appointed. Knowing that he played a 4-2-3-1 formation, I always thought maybe Salah could play that number 10 role or up top. Like that would have been the option. But it was never utilized, which is crazy for me because just look at Leo Messi when he got to this stage of his career, he was playing more central roles, and that's allowed him to prolong his career. So use him as a blueprint. Whether he's playing as 10 or up top. I think he can play more as a 9 because he's more of a clinical finisher in comparison to Messi. Although of course Messi is unbelievable on the ball. I'm not saying that, but Salah is more of a striker. That's his sort of like his viewpoint in terms of getting on the goals, whereas Messi is just majestic on the ball, isn't it? And like he wants to do everything, wants to set up goals and score goals as well. So yeah, I'm very surprised that we've never utilized that, and I feel like I've been saying it for the last few months. I think we need to try a different way of playing, and when I say try a different way, we don't have to play with front three. We've got two strikers. We've got Salah as well. We've got Chiesa that can play up top. We've got Gakpo that can play up top in a strike force. Why not, play with two strikers and utilize the two wing backs that we have in Kirkers and Frimpong because that is their strong skill sets as well. Like these were little tweaks I was expecting to see on the slot, but he hasn't even done that yet. This team's the same team that pretty much played against Nottingham Forest. The only difference is that Jones that right back, Szoboszlai is further up, and that's it. And Ekitike started ahead of Isak. Look, fans are walking out, and look, I don't blame them. I always said that I personally wouldn't walk out, but these are fans that have used their hard-earned money to be present in this game, and if they're not happy, they have every right to walk out. Because I'm fed up. I'm sure many of you are fed up, but the fans in the stadium they must be even more fed up because they're there to help the team build an atmosphere and they're trying to be vocal and be supportive, but there's only so much you can support. This is not acceptable. And the crazy thing is, I feel like the talent is there on the pitch. The talent is genuinely there. It's just tactics. We're just not getting it right. And we're such pushovers right now. Anyone can beat us. Anyone can get it in terms of 3 points because we just love gifting 3 points to everyone. It's so frustrating to watch. Really is. Chiesa. Oh, shoot. Unlucky. Don't pass the Gapo. Don't pass the Gapo. The guy is useless. I'm glad he didn't pass it to Gakpo there. Don't deserve it. Ozan says, I agree, bro. He says, what a quote. A winger is a young man's game. It really is. That's how I actually see it. And you probably say a fullback as well, to an extent. Once a fullback hits a certain age, if the energy levels aren't there, especially in the modern game, you know, it, the fullbacks now, they are bombing up and down. They're the creative outlets for most teams. You know, being a fullback is a very difficult job, in my opinion. Back when I used to watch football in my younger days, your fullbacks were your very defensive minded players. So much so that they could actually play centre backs. Like that was their thing. Whereas nowadays, your fullbacks are more than equipped to play as wingers. So it's a different dimension. I think you've actually just mentioned that below. Right wings and left wings option has become right back and left back as they get older. That as well. That is true as well. That those wide players go one step back. But I feel like you know Salah is not a orthodox right winger. He's always been an inside forward, or of course, he plays on the right wing, but his game is tailored for him to come inside and be the focal point, i.e., the goal scorer for this team. So when you've got that kind of profile, you're not expected to play at right back. And to be fair, you don't really get left-footed right backs in this day and age. So when you've got an attacking player like Salah, they tend to drift infield and be number 10s or number 9s. So I'm just surprised that we've never utilized that or tested that formation out in terms of allowing his players at number 10 or up top. Oh, this is frustrating. If Slot does not get a win against West Ham, I'll be bemused if he's still around with the job. Like, I would say he deserves to be sacked right now. This is not acceptable. He can't even beat a Dutch team. And no disrespect to PSV, but they ain't world beaters. Szoboszlai to Chiesa, 4 minutes of added time. Bloody hell. Oh, so frustrating. Like, I'm so deflated that I don't even have energy to get angry. Like that's how fed up I am with this team right now, and with this coach's tactics and the way he sets the team up. And look, they can make it 4-1. Oh my gosh, you're gonna make it 4-1. They just made it 4-1. They just made it 4-1. They've just made it 4-1. They've just made it 4-1. He's done out here. He's absolutely done out here. This can't continue. He is the problem. I genuinely believe he is the problem. This can't continue. It wasn't saying sack the man in the tunnel. Send him that text message right now. Forget him even get to the tunnel. Send him that text message right now. This is not acceptable. Not acceptable. And the people that are slot in, I'm not here to take shots at you or anything like that. But you've got to rethink your viewpoint right now. This can't be our standard. We can't be losing 4-1 to PSV. Paul, this guy's absolutely useless. Honestly, why is he still on the pitch? Go on, Isak. Shoot, Chiesa. Oh, unlucky. Chiesa has looked so lively since he's come on. Get Jurgen Klopp on the phone. Get Jurgen Klopp on the phone. I was gonna say, Fat, don't let him get into the dressing room. You're hearing the booze. You would assume people that were slotting have turned. If not, flipping out. I don't know what it's going to take for you to turn and smell the coffee, because this manager is not at our level. He should not be the manager of Liverpool Football Club. He's been found out. He's not at the level that we need at this club. And he said himself he doesn't have the solutions. Then why is he here? He needs to go. It's as simple as that. It's nothing personal. It's just not good enough, in my opinion. Like sometimes you go through a blip in form where you can't get a win. You're getting draws, and those draws aren't turning into wins. But we are losing every game, and not even like 1-0. And to be fair, that wouldn't be acceptable anyway. But we're losing 3-0, 3-0, 4-1. The last three games have been a three-goal gap. You can't back that. There is no way you can defend that. And I don't want to hear nothing about last season now, because that's what was holding me back from saying slot out a few weeks ago. And that was the past. We got to talk about the present. He has shown that he is not at the level to take this club forward. Something needs to change. It needs to happen soon. I'll be very surprised if he's the manager this weekend. Like, how many more opportunities does he get? Like, what he deserves? I don't think he deserves more. It's different when it sees improvements. Yes, today we saw slight improvements in terms of the way we played. But these aren't amateur football players. These are professional players. These are players at the very highest level. So even on their bad day, they're still showing you that they have, the ability to spray the ball around, for example. But in terms of the defining moments, they're not there. They're not playing with any energy, any drive, any intensity as a collective. There's only one person that turned up, and it's the only person that's turned up this season. It's Ozwrld. And he only scored that goal because of his energy, that he was, pressing and he got himself in a good position. Other than that, no one else looked like they were going to score today. It's a huge concern. My problem as well, it doesn't even matter who starts or who plays now. He's lost the dressing room. There's no difference in who plays. Obviously, you'll get some players like Chiesa, whoever comes on, he's always energetic, aggressive in his play because he's trying to fight for the cause. He's trying to fight for the badge. He's trying to do it for the fans. Just gonna go through some of the comments before we close the show. Graham says again, we have had chances for the game to be different, but honestly, their heads dropped too quickly. So unreal. We were 5 points clear. It's over for him, Ozzie, according to Ozan. Says there's no way back from this. There isn't, but I don't know what our owners will do now. You would obviously think they will dismiss him because this is not acceptable. But I don't know. I don't know what they're gonna do. For me, he needs to go. It's as simple as that. This is not acceptable. How do we beat Real Madrid? I think the way Real Madrid play, played out of hands. They are a team that like to play free flowing football, and the players just seem to be a bit more motivated. That's because it was Real Madrid, so they pushed themselves on a personal level to turn up. But I don't know. I'm looking at someone at the studio on TNT Sports. If it's not Jurgen Klopp, maybe Steven Gerrard can come in and take the role as a interim manager until the end of the season before we can make a real appointment. Because for me, there's not a lot of options out there. So I feel like with Gerrard, he could bring that good feel factor back to the club. the number one choice is Jurgen Klopp. It really is because I feel like he will definitely galvanize this team going forward. Yes, any manager will struggle because we have made all the wrong signings. So forget that window for the ages. I don't even think it was the worst window or we made bad signings. I just feel like this coach doesn't know how to utilize these players. Because I can assure you, if another coach came in and played those players in the right positions to get the best out of them in terms of their strengths and what they bring to the table, you will see a better team. So I'm not gonna buy that we made some bad signings. There's one or two I still have question marks on. Like Kirkis for me is not ready to be first choice. Looks like he's very talented, but he's not first choice for me. So Robertson needs to return to the lineup straight away. That's the first thing to do. And then you gotta find a formation to try and fit both Ekitike and Isak. And forget the attack for now. We have to change a formation defensive. When you're conceding so many goals, play a bit more defensive. Like, they tried to do it against Palace, but we played with a back five, and it worked to an extent. But of course, in front, in terms of midfield and attackers, we didn't have the same level that could have, opened up against the opponents. That was the difference, unfortunately. So, look, he's got to try and test out different formations because this is not working. It really isn't. If he wants to save his job, he's got to try something different in the next game. But quite frankly, I don't think he deserves to be in the firing line for the next game. I think he needs to go. It's as simple as that. So I'll be very, very surprised that if no action is taken with this coach. Musa, big up Musa as always. He said, generally, Liverpool need to bring back Jurgen Klopp for the rest of the year because he can actually bring back the energy in the dressing room. I agree. If he's open to it, because it's still a bit up in the air if he would come or not. If that podcast interview never came out, I would probably say no, it's not really an option. So let's not talk about it. But because he made that comment, I feel like there's a slight hope that he could return. And if it's not Jurgen Klopp, look, you've got to look at alternatives. Steven Gerrard could be an option. I know there's still question marks about his sort of coaching credentials, but I feel like this it's gone so bad now that we just need a reset. And it doesn't need to be like some of the highest caliber if that's not attainable right now. If we can't get someone at the highest caliber right now, we have to try and find someone that will uplift the squad, uplift the fans, and like I said, bring that good feel factor into the club again. So yeah, crazy, crazy, crazy times right now. Dark times. I've been saying it for weeks. Dark times is what we're going through right now. Oh yeah, we'll leave it at that. I will be back in about an hour or so. Probably roughly around 11 to 11:30. So the best thing to do is hit that notification bell so you know exactly what time I start my live stream. It's a calling show as well. So all my match shows are calling shows. So if you'd like to come on and have your say, feel free to hit the link and I'll get you in the show. Otherwise, feel free to let me know your thoughts and comments in the live chat about what you're feeling right now and what you think needs to be done going forward because this can't continue for me. This is unacceptable for Liverpool Football Club. I'm not buying this. So I need to hear some sort of updates in the next few days. And I'm not saying I want the guy sacked because it sounds very harsh when you say, you want someone to be dismissed of their duties, he's got a family, all that kind of stuff. No, I'm not trying to sound harsh, but unfortunately, football is a tough sport. And when you're at the highest level, if you're not delivering, you have to accept your fate. And he's been given a free ride right now, in my opinion. Like most managers would have been sacked a long way before, honestly. Not the best example, but Ten Hag got sacked in the first month being by Leverkusen manager. I don't think he even got that many defeats. But they just weren't impressed with what direction he was going with. So, we've been too loyal in this situation, and I'm speaking about the hierarchy here. Richard Hughes and Michael Edwards, they got to show what they're made of now. They've got to make that cutthroat decision, and they've got to find another person to take over because it's not Arne Slot, it's Jurgen Klopp. That would be my choice. But if it's not Jurgen Klopp, look at alternatives. Steven Gerrard could be an option. If someone like a Iraola is the guy that they believe is the future, then pay what you got to pay to Bournemouth and get him on now. Get him on board right now. I would look at other alternatives, but even though my sort of suggestions I feel like are semi-realistic, you know, names that come to my mind are the likes of Luis Enrique. I think that's a pipeline dream. But as Xavi Alonso, based on what you're hearing, you know, that his job could be in question as it's not a right fit at the club. Another person would be Nagelsmann, but he wouldn't leave his current job, which is the German national team. So whoever they have earmarked or whoever they have listed on top of their, you know, findings when it comes to data metrics, make that approach because it can't be on a slot. Yeah. Yeah. Oh, that's it's time to go. Yeah, it is time to go. I'm gonna log off now. But yeah, I'll be back in about an hour or so. 11:30. Um, and yeah, I'll try and gather my thoughts again. Um, I'm not gonna be going into huge detail when it comes to the match because we all know what we just saw. Uh, player ratings, yeah, that's gonna be a quick one as well. Um, so yeah, I'll give you my 2 pence. But other than that, if you'd like to come on, please do. If you want to get involved in the live chat, more than welcome to do that as well. So that is it for today, guys. Thank you so much for tuning in. Thank you to Ozan, to Abdul, to Double D, to Musa, and to Graham. Appreciate your comments and engagement always, guys. Uh, just before I log off, I was saying in your next show, Ozzy, you have to ask the people if you're starting. Why is that? Yeah, let's see if you know how many people we get on the show in terms of live viewers, because that's the question I will present tonight in my match session show. But I will also present it tomorrow. I'm doing the match preview of West Ham versus Liverpool, so we have to present that question. We really do. But let's see how it goes. But that is it for today, guys. Thank you so much for tuning in. Take care, stay safe, and I hope to see you guys in about an hour or so. Goodbye.